Okay. I'm going to call this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order as it is 7 o'clock. We have two agenda items. The first is deliberation on 56 Harvard Road special permit decision. Each of you received a draft copy of the decision, and in front of you is a red line version which incorporates edits that were sent to Michael from, I believe, myself, Ernie, and Andy Demore. Ernie, just out of curiosity, because I don't think I saw them, what was your comment?
It was on page 7
or
or 8.
Oh,
because there's
no. Sorry. Right. So one thing to note, especially for those who are remote, as there's nobody in the room, we only have 4 members here. Associate member Lenny Golder, who was a voting participant on this particular matter, unfortunately is unable to attend due to a personal emergency, and he sends his regrets. Is the applicant on the line, Mr. Browick?
Yes.
Great. I just want to ask you real briefly, and just as a reminder, because the hearing is closed, can't take any additional information. But per sort of my practice as chair, I usually leave it to the applicant to decide how to proceed. So as a reminder, in order to issue a special permit, you need 4 votes from the board. So typically when we have 5 voting members, you can have a 4-1 decision and still receive approval. Because Mr. Golder is unable to attend tonight, we only have 4 voting individuals, meaning that you would need a 4-0 vote for approval. So I usually defer to the applicant to decide if they'd like to proceed with just the 4 of us. Alternatively, we could continue the matter to our next meeting, which is on January 6th, at which time I would expect Mr. Golder to be there. So I leave it to you if you want us to just proceed with the 4 of us, or if you'd like for us to continue.
Yeah, I'm happy to continue with you guys.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I actually think I did not phrase that properly.
Yeah, the wrong word.
Yeah. So just so we can be clear for the record, do you want us to go ahead and proceed this evening with just the 4 of us, or should we postpone and continue the matter to January 6th?
Yes, we could continue today.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. And just as a reminder, because the hearing is closed, we can no longer take information from the applicant or from the public as we deliberate. Okay, with that, Ernie.
It was on page 8.
Yep.
Item 14. Line 14.
Oh, like the leasing.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember we discussed that.
And I have one other comment to make on previous page 7. Number 7, it references within the dance studio. He still conduct classes within his home.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I guess the way I rationalized that was this was a permit specifically for the studio.
Yeah.
There's already has the ability to do that
In his home.
inherently in the home,
Okay.
right? So that was the way I processed that for myself.
What if we just deleted that sentence
You could do that too.
and just use this, keep the second sentence saying outdoors prohibited?
Sure.
Do that?
Yeah.
That works.
That's fine.
Can we do that, Michael? Great, thank you. I guess not to cold call you, Andy Crosby, but as the 3 of us had already submitted some red lines which are here, are there any? I guess I'll ask you. I think you had a chance to review this beforehand.
Well, I reviewed it.
Okay.
I didn't. It was quick, but I
No,
did.
that's okay.
So, but yeah, I mean,
I just wanted to make sure that you had full opportunity to provide comments.
yeah, I mean, I think everything that in here is, I would have, if I didn't see it, I didn't. But I saw a couple things and they're in here, so I just didn't get a chance to send an email out. So.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give you the window to do so. So why don't we just take because this has been reviewed once already by us individually, why don't we just take a minute right now, have us go through the draft, and if there are any edits or comments that people want to flag, just voice them out. I won't do sort of a page by page like we normally do. So, so let's just take a couple minutes to take a look and see what we can have. I guess the one thing we'll have to note is that Lenny's not here.
And then we did get permission to proceed.
Oh, yes, yeah, and the applicant did indicate his desire to proceed. When you have a moment, I just have a couple of tiny things. On page 2, under correspondence, third bullet, email from, not form.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I missed it the first time. Page 3, very last line, number 4 in the findings. Should studio be capitalized?
That's something. Oh, should it be capitalized?
No.
No,
Yeah,
the second one.
yes, that's what I meant, yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
Under finding number 4, the very second sentence, the word studio is capitalized.
Dance studio.
Oh,
That was it.
right.
Then I think the between findings 16 and 17 is just an extra space. I don't mean to be jumping around, but on page 7, number 4, the number of parking spaces on the site is limited to 26, all of which are in the horse riding ring.
Yeah,
Do we want to say, you know, for purposes of dance instruction or studio? I don't want to imply that,
you can't park it.
like, he can't park his own car in his driveway, or if he has a friend over or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe just say business related parking will be in the horse ring.
that's a great one, yeah. So number 3, right above that, other events not associated with business, I think it should be but incidental, not but are incidental. Not are.
Whoa, say that again?
Take out the bottom.
Yeah, take out the R. Otherwise, I don't think it reads.
Other events not associated with the businesses, but are incidental. You need a verb there, don't you?
Yeah, but isn't it afterwards? Other events not associated with the business, but incidental to the residential use of the site are not regulated. than the RR.
Okay.
I just want to do it, but that R. I don't know, it's read funny to me.
Okay, fine, yeah, I got it.
Were we not gonna include an item about no additional exterior lighting on the barn?
We've said that they have to meet.
And just keep it with the
Lighting
lighting
code,
code.
right.
Okay.
You'll probably have to, especially in the winter time, add some lighting. It's kind of dark early and for customers to make it down the path and get to the.
But we talk about the pathway here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the physical building.
No, I don't think,
You might like the
It
area
is-
though, to get there.
it's got a spotlight on there now.
I mean, I thought we said that he couldn't add more lighting, it was just that spotlight.
Right, 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 you couldn't add any more, you could just
Yeah.
use what was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Should- So do we add that to 10? Sorry. So,
Where you at it?
sorry, on page 8, number 10, where we talk about how the standard, he's gotta comply with exterior lighting, we added a note saying, you know, no additional exterior lighting shall be attached to the barn beyond what's there right now, beyond what's pre-existing.
I don't know if we need to.
Yeah, I don't feel compelled to do that.
You know, if there's a problem, the neighbors can always complain to the building commissioner to get it fixed.
So just on number 14, the line that Ernie recommended. The second sentence says this dance studio building, should we say may only be used? Let's see, building may be used, but yeah.
May otherwise be used?
It's really, the statement was just to make sure that it's not leased out to some other organization to use and how he can use it for his dance studio or his own personal.
So maybe we just strike the second sentence.
Yeah, because otherwise it's kind of confusing.
Right.
I'm okay, and yeah, because the first one kind of,
The first one
Okay,
declares,
take the point.
declares it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so delete the second sentence.
And also, you know, also basically say, you know, personal use is obviously not regulated, so.
Yeah, we said
Right,
that.
and we said that, I think, in number 3.
Right.
So we've already kind of hit that.
I'll make 2 motions. Move that we grant the special permit for 56 Harbor Road Dance Studio.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
4-0.
Move that we approve the decision for 56 Harvard Road special permit
As amended.
Second.
as amended.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the decision as amended?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
What is that?
All right. All right, and with that, the only other matter we have on the agenda is to briefly review and vote on the FY26 budget. Michael, do you want to just take a?
You might want to go over just the, there's 2 weeks before it's
That's right. it's on there.
So,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Go ahead.
So I will have Andy sign the decision tonight, if you're able to stick around.
Yep.
And then I'll have that filed with the town clerk tomorrow morning. And then notices to all of the butters will be sent out and instructions to the applicant on the next steps will be provided tomorrow, after everything is filed. So I can answer any questions over email or call, tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'll be happy to stick around. Shouldn't take much once we conclude the meeting.
so much for your 15-minute meeting.
Well, I'm on overtime tonight.
Time and a
So when we talk about the budget.
half. So Michael or Valerie, do you want to just briefly, I know there was a memo circulated beforehand, but do you want to just briefly give us a summary?
Sure, yes, hi everyone. So the memo just outlines our proposed departmental budget for fiscal 26. Given the town administrator's budget message this year, we are not looking to increase any of our line items. And I think that is actually going to work out quite well for us. So I gave you a brief update on where we are with our funds so far this year. We're less than halfway through them. So I know that we have a little bit more outreach that we're intending to do around some zoning processes for the rest of fiscal 25, but I think this does represent a good amount to get us where we want to be next year. So if there are any questions on the budget, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, so just in general, and it's like a how high is high, do we have any visibility that some special event is gonna come across our desk here that might cause us to spend more money?
I'm not anticipating anything new. I think, on our radar, we do have additional outreach for the 3A MBTA communities zoning process. We also have some outreach coming up for ongoing streetscape construction. We're hoping to have that take place in the next construction season. So there should be some mailings and some messaging around that. And otherwise, I think it pretty much represents business as usual.
Yeah, so is it any contingency that you may need that we're not thinking about here? That's all I'm asking, I guess.
Yeah.
Get somebody to fund it or not, that's a different question, but, is there something that we should comprehend from a contingency? That's all.
Right. So for the planning department's budget, one thing that's not represented here, that's more of a planning board item, is our planning board engineering and master planning consulting account. So we do have this other pocket of money that kind of sticks around from year to year. So unlike the budget, which goes back into the general fund if you don't use all of it, we have another article, a special article at town meeting every year that kind of adds money to this fund that we use for some more of those unanticipated needs. So
Okay.
peer review, special projects that might come up, that kind of thing.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Valerie, I'm just kind of curious, in just looking at the numbers, so FY 25 budget was 11,300. It looks like, I mean, we're kind of through what, like 80% of the budget already, and we're only, we're about a week away from the end of halfway through the fiscal year. I'm just kind of.
Oh, no, it's the opposite of that. So we're only about 20% of the way through it. So that middle line item is what we have left. Sorry. So not what we've spent.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I misread it. I thought it was what's been spent. So, I should
Right.
read it more carefully. Okay. never mind.
No, I could have made that more clear. Thank you for pointing that out.
No. There's a sentence that says it's what's remaining, so never mind. I assume, by the way, any leftover funds just go back to the town's like general fund.
That's correct. Yes.
Hope we don't get that department.
You guys have to spend a lot more on office supplies next June.
Well, that's why I was trying to make sure we have enough money to do all
I
that
know,
stuff,
I
right?
know. We can have our next meeting on the road. Any other questions for Valerie and Michael about the FY 26 proposed budget?
No, I'm fine with the way it's stated.
Is there enough money in there for the citizens planner that
Yes.
classes that used to occur in at Holy Cross?
Yes. Yes. So we should keep sending you all those learning opportunities. So there is, as Ernie said, there's an annual meeting that's in person in Worcester every March, I believe, that provides some planning classes, special permits, variances, zoning 101 for new board members or board members just looking to refresh on new case law. So there's also ongoing learning opportunities now that we're, 4 years into the pandemic. They have switched to Zoom classes. So we'll start forwarding those over to you all, so you have those opportunities emailed out to you as well. So yes, it does include that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Good, thank you.
All set. I'll take a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the budget as proposed.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the budget for FY 26 as
Aye.
proposed?
Aye.
Nice. Passes 4-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That is the end of tonight's agenda. Our next meeting is January 6th, which is a regularly scheduled meeting. Michael, remind me what, if anything, we have?
There are no public hearings scheduled. Right now I have a work session to go over the rules and regulations and to review the draft 2024 annual report for the CPA.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
That's it.
Do we have anything, is there any public hearing potentially scheduled for February already or not?
I have not heard of that
Oh,
yet.
all right.
They're giving up on us.
All right, clear sailing in the spring. All right.
And we still have the business about where we include something about variances and.
We like the
non-conforming
diagrams.
lots of
Yeah, the appendix, yeah. We have time for that in the January one, or probably not?
We could, if anyone want me to start drafting something for that.
I think that was actually on me.
So what was the question? I'm sorry.
We were gonna, this was an item that was on our agendas in our meetings, I think before we got the comprehensive permit,
Okay,
which is essentially like, almost like a reader's guide
yes,
with like actual like diagrams. I had drafted up a proposal, there were some comments, I was gonna update it, and then I think that got derailed because we had a lot of other pressing business. So we should probably try to revisit that. We can put that on for either January or February. I don't.
So with regard to the review that we want to facilitate on the 6th, do you expect a lot of changes, or are they substantial, editorial, or formatting? And before you answer, if they're just kind of like, we're gonna go through and kind of confirm most of it, is there time to accommodate that component as well? So just to try to do some time management
Of
here.
course, yeah.
Most of the changes are editorial and formatting, just to make it consistent.
Yeah.
There are a few small changes, I'm blanking on them right now. 'cause
Yeah, no, that's okay, I'm not asking for that, yeah.
I think it'll also be a good opportunity just to go through and see what's working
Yeah.
and what's not based on what's in the
Yeah,
regulations.
so are there any that are like, oh, we better look at this one because this is really problematic? Is that so if we allocated an hour, would we get through it? And then is there another half an hour that we wanna, I'm just kind of making that up, that we
Yeah.
wanna do this other component?
I think 30 to 45 minutes would be sufficient.
Yeah.
To go through it.
Some,
And the annual report.
And then the annual report would be probably another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if we all, that being said, if we've got literally nothing scheduled for February, like, I'm happy just, put that on this calendar for February.
So not have a meeting in January, is that what
No,
you're
no, no,
thinking?
no, 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 no. The idea of the appendix and all that kind of stuff, but let's put that on the February agenda.
Okay.
That way too,
Yeah.
it kind of goes in order that
yeah,
way.
sure, okay, great.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, and I'll just open it up to the members as well. If there's a topic or something that needs to be reviewed, or you want to discuss, if we've got a lull now in applications, like, it's a good opportunity to sort of pull stuff off the pile that, we haven't looked at in a while.
Yeah,
Like
so one of the-
kennels.
So, kennels, or, there's this whole notion about zoning in the town, right? We had written a letter, the board, at some previous date, wrote a letter to the
Oh, yeah.
select board about different zones in the town, this zone, that zone, and I don't know that we ever got a response or any interest in any of that.
Trying to make all the non-conforming lots conforming to.
Yeah.
In definition, by conforming, if they're conforming when they're established, they're
Yeah,
continuing conforming.
somehow
It makes it much simpler.
it's
for us.
persistent, yeah, right. On a lot of
Yeah.
fronts, in terms of consistency
And we
and
can apply things to them instead
and
of.
cost and, process and a whole
Yeah.
bunch of things,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, so
alright, so let me
it's kind of hanging out there.
okay,
And we also need something in sheds. You get a few words to say what a shed is and how, the size,
Come on, Ernie.
and how close it could be to
but if,
property.
but if we're looking at the rules and regs, I mean, this is,
Yeah, that
when we get to that
should
section, let's
tease
talk
it
about
out,
it,
yeah.
yeah, so.
Okay.
Things we need to make it simpler.
Simple is always good.
Alright, if anyone thinks of anything else, email Michael and we'll find a date for it. Alright, with that,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting at 7:29.
Second.
we have a motion, we have a second, any discussion? Any,
I'm
at
good.
all? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, hearing none, all in favor?
All right,
Meeting adjourned. Thank you guys.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Have a good holiday break and New Year.